Hello and welcome to the latest instalment of the Game Sportcast. I'm Luke Rain, your online editor, and we have a packed show today. First of all, we've got reaction from Preston's drab draw at the Valley. Then moving on, we've got non-league football, where we talk to our correspondents who are at games this weekend. We've also got rugby and cricket chat as the Preston Grasshoppers are in action and Lancaster Cricket Club continue their tour of the Far East. Start off with Preston, and we have our football reporter Phil Wachinski. He saw bits of the game, I think. It was 0-0 for those who don't know. Phil, how did the game go?
Not terribly well, to be honest. Four shots and goal apiece for the teams, and Preston look like a team that they cannot win away. We don't know what the problem is. If you look at the players, they are trying, but they're not getting the results away from home. It's ridiculous.
So Phil, Alan Irvine's tried a number of things regarding team selection. He played one up front for a few away games. I think he played two up front on Saturday. What else is there he can try to do to stop the rot?
Yeah, he played Parkin and Elliott like he did against Coventry, and against Coventry they did actually manage to get the win, but away from home it's not working. I don't know if they're lacking creativity. Ross Wallace seems to be getting double teamed and he just can't produce anything, and on the right wing you've got Cedric who's not doing anything for the team, so they need some creativity and goals from midfield.
Right, so international football takes over now. 2-week break for Preston. Is it coming at a good time or a bad time for the club?
I don't know if it will help, to be honest. Irvine gave them a couple of days off this week and they drew away at Charlton, who are without doubt the worst team in the league. It's 2 wins in 29 games now. 2 weeks, maybe they can recharge the batteries, get the injured players back, but it doesn't look like they're going to make the playoffs. They can't win away from home, and it doesn't look good.
So we've covered the negatives regarding Saturday's game, Phil. Any positives at all?
Yeah, John Parkin looks lively, as he always does. Stephen Elliott is, he tries to create, but he's not a natural finisher. Ross Wallace, he does create, but when he does get double teamed, he's out of the game. So Yilmore, when he played well again, and Sean St. Ledger, as always, he's the mainstay in the team.
Thanks for that, Phil. Moving on, we'll look at non-league football now. Dan Smith, one of our non-league football correspondents. How did Charlie get on at the weekend?
Charlie lost 1-0. Tony Hesketh's men. They played all right, not too good, but I don't think they're really looking ahead to much because their season is pretty much over. They can't get relegated, they can't get promotion, so they're just giving the younger players a run out, which bodes well for next season.
We heard a bizarre story last week that Tony Hesketh in fact missed his side's game last midweek because he was at a school play. Did he turn up on Saturday?
Yep, he was there. Makes a change. Well, it doesn't really make a change, to be honest. He only missed one game, but I know he missed the game, and some can see it as unprofessional. But at the end of the day, it is only non-league football, and it's not his full-time job. And he's got other commitments. So, bar that, then I think he's a really good manager for Chorley. Someone who can take them to the next level.
Thanks, Dan. Our other non-league football correspondent, Mike Lee. I understand Bamber didn't have a game last weekend, but they do have a midweek fixture.
Yeah, the game against fourth place Colwyn Bay tomorrow night at the QED Stadium. Things are looking reasonably well for Bamber Bridge at the moment. I mean, out the last 6 games, they've won 3, 2 losses and 1 draw. Since Neil Crow's taken over for Lantwhistle, things have been slightly rocky, but under Phil's stewardship, they were a really solid base this season, and I think it's come as a bit of a blow for them as the results aren't being as consistent as they would have liked.
So you say they've suffered from inconsistent results, sitting outside the playoff zone at the minute, 7th place. They must win tomorrow night, I take it.
Yeah, I think everyone regarding Bamber Bridge must see this game as a must-win. Colwyn are fourth place, and potentially the place at which Bamber Bridge needs to be to have a shot at promotion. The top goal scorer of the season, Alec Porter, he hasn't scored in about 7 games, and they're looking a bit out of sorts on the goal front, and need the goals to come from somewhere. And it's up to Neil Crow to rally his troops tomorrow and do the business.
That's a big game for Bamber then. Moving on to rugby then, Craig Caton, our rugby correspondent, he saw Preston Grasshoppers in action against Leicester Lions this weekend. Craig, in a nutshell, how did it go?
Well, to be honest, it was quite disappointing. Obviously, Preston Grasshoppers lost 49-33 to the Leicester Lions, and to be honest, the game was marred by an incident with the under 18 England international Lee Imelek, who was not only yellow carded for his involvement in what only can be called a mass brawl, but also ended up with a badly cut eye, with the Leicester Lions forward being sent off as well. But to be fair, during the week Alex Key came out saying how he wanted to improve on their defence, but the defence obviously conceded 49 points, so I think something's been going wrong in training, to be honest.
I think there was also an issue about indiscipline, wasn't there, last week? And obviously the sending off Imelek hasn't done much to back up Key's claims that he wanted to improve on that area, has it?
No, to be honest, it hasn't. Alex was saying during the week how he wanted to improve not only the discipline towards the referee and everything that goes with it, but also the discipline towards his tactics, and neither can have paid off with conceding 49 points. And also, once again, another yellow card.
And I'm looking at Fylde. Were they in action this weekend, or do they have any fixtures upcoming this week?
Yeah, they won 38-14 at home to Hull Ionians with four tries from Craig Aikman. However, Fylde do also have an interesting tie coming up now. After winning their semi-final in the Lancashire Cup, they're now going to be facing the Preston Grasshoppers in mid-April in the final.
That proves to be a very interesting fixture for everyone at the game. Finally, looking at cricket, and Andy Cottrell, our cricket correspondent. Lancashire on in the Far East at the minute, I understand.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they've got the third match against Select Fly Emirates 11 today. They've currently lost one and won one. On Thursday they beat Sussex, but a day later on Friday they lost to Essex Eagle by 45 runs.
So what have been the main plus points of this tour then? Any players have they stood out in action?
Paul Horton hit a big century against Sussex on Thursday, like I say, but the result against Essex was quite disappointing, and they do need a large, a big win today to get into the final, because they need to beat Sussex and Essex Eagles' run score.
Thanks, Andy. That's it from the Game Sportcast this week. Hope you'll come back and join us next week. There's no Preston game, remember, but don't let that put you off. There's plenty of action going on elsewhere, and obviously this is the best place to hear about it. Thanks for listening. Have a nice day.